Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Wife cheated on me before we were even married with our friend/her coworker, and I finally left. Needs support. Me, 33M, and my STBXW, 31F, started cheating on me with her coworker in the summer of 2017. We married November 2017. Together for 11 years altogether. Trying to keep this short, but it's 3.5 years of bullshit, so let me run through this. It's a lot. Here's the disaster of events. STBXW starts to cheat with her coworker in summer of 2017, invites him to our wedding in winter of 2017 but can't last minute because of work. She invites him into our social life. Her immediate family knows AP and AP's wife. STBXW tried to make him my friend and have us hang out, has sex at work after hours, in the back of his truck, in the car I'm left with, in our apartment, our couch, our bed, using the GPS she had on me to know where I'm at, and God knows where else. Took a Plan B pill at least once. She insisted I go to his bachelor party, and I did. He got a BJ from one of the strippers. She befriends AP's wife and were best friends at one point. AP's wife makes STBXW her maid of honor. This brings us to summer of 2020. AP's wife gets pregnant in June 2020. That same month me and STBXW purchase a home. STBXW says to cut costs, AP, an amateur handyman, can help us in the work we want on it. She asks if it's okay if they go alone to get a head start. At this point I know him, and more importantly I trust him. I've known him for 3.5 years. He's my friend. I said okay but still felt uneasy about it. They ended up having sex in every room in our new home. Before I could even really call it home she had sex in it. It's ruined forever. We've been trying to get pregnant for a year. One night about to have sex, STBXW says something to the effect of let me get mine before you get yours, but stops short of her thought, but I got the drift. But there's a problem. I don't have that problem. I'm not bragging, but I stay hard even after I get an orgasm, for 11 straight years with her. She gets 3 orgasms to my 1 for 11 years. I can give her more if we're really into it. Some men can't go on after the first orgasm, but that's not me. I let it go, but it stuck with me. That was my first thought waking up. Something snapped and I went crazy X mode. She left for work and I rushed to her laptop trying to get into her text messages. Don't have access, then search all her social media. There's access to one. Search through every message from a guy. And there it is. Words that will forever be burned in my head. Multiple quickies. I miss you, heart, I like your arms, they can carry me, babe. I sent her a screenshot of what I found. I was in shock. Then I had my first panic attack. I called my brother and told him. She called me after and I went off on her, then hung up. She denies it was physical, just flirting the whole time. After I walked our dogs I was surprised to see STBXW in total shame standing there. 30 minutes before she showed AP the screenshot and said his face went white, and then she drove home because she thought I was leaving her. Then I demanded answers. She confessed to having sex with him for 3.5 years. I asked if she gave him blowjobs. She says yes. Dumb question, I know. But I lost it there. After I calmed down I sat in a chair in shock. She came over and cried, apologizing, begging to forgive her, and hugged me. Once I hugged her it all came out. That devastating, unbearable, torturous and never-ending heartache I still feel today. It consumed me. I told her she broke me. I'm broken. I cried my eyes out. Ugly, filthy cry. I barely ate for a week. I was too traumatized to think about leaving. I just found out my entire marriage and some change was a lie. My identity was stolen and turned my world upside down. I was too consumed in trying to make sense of things while traumatized. We decide on trying to reconcile with therapy, couples and individuals. I lasted 2 months, then I needed space. I left my parents. I thought this was it. It's over. I could barely leave, but I was so proud I was going to post this on Reddit to show you guys that I did it. But being away from her felt like ripping off an emotional limb. It felt self-inflicted. I lasted 3 weeks and came back. I missed her so damn much. That's when I found out if I decide to really leave it was going to be horrendous. But I'm going to try and reconcile. We also paused starting a family. Would be crazy to start if we don't know about our future. But she has a hard time waiting, yet understands what I need to go through in healing, but doesn't know how long she can bear not having kids. The patience required from her is wearing her down. But I get it. There's ultimately a deadline. I told her what I needed from her to feel safe. She or he needed to find another job. She barely tried in the beginning, so I sent a message to AP, knowing he hadn't told his wife, and if he wants to keep it that way he needs to leave. Instead AP tells his pregnant wife. Instead of hearing back from him, I get a call from his Phil asking me to back off. What? Phil, supposedly, barely works, so probably saw his paycheck flying away since they all live in the same house and plan to move into another one. Phil ends up passing the phone to AP. Same voice I heard from STBXW, shame and guilt overbearing AP. I go off on him and hang up. So there it is. She wasn't leaving and he wasn't either. She didn't want to leave in case I leave, then what was the point in leaving her job, in her mind? It's also tied to her family's business. She feels a strong social obligation to keep it. Red flag. We try to continue reconciliation. But every day I thought about it multiple times a day. Daily trauma. Nothing was the same, holidays, mornings, nights, kisses, sex, simple interactions. I'm haunted by our home because of the triggers. My mind unravels almost every interaction between them and us, and it's like a mini D-Day every single day, but we continue. Forward to last week and we're at a stalemate. She doesn't feel like I want to continue this, but my PTSD is so intense I can barely keep myself together. Still 7 months later. She leaves to her sisters unrelated to us and we go back and forth on text. We would check in every 3 months on how I was feeling, more importantly if I wanted to start a family. I know I couldn't do it. How can I be there for them when I'm struggling on just me? We would both be miserable with a baby on the way. I don't deserve that. I would also be haunted in not having the trust it's even mine. That was part of the reason to leave. Again, she says she can't wait a year but just hopes I'm ready before. So having that in my mind that it's 4 months left for the D-Day anniversary and it hasn't changed exponentially in almost 8 months and the ongoing trauma, I decide to leave. Every day was stay or leave and it was eating at me. Like a crow's picking out your eyes. It was and still is horrible. So I'm here at a friend's place. Tortured every day in a different way since I left. Every bone in my body says to go back. But when I'm there I'm miserable. I'm away from her now and I'm also still miserable. But what's going to change if I go back? Maybe I can change and move past this, but it's going to be more than a year. I can feel it. I don't want to say it out loud, but I need this. It's for me. For my peace, but it's not coming fast enough. I just want the pain to stop, but I know it'll take time. I know talking to friends and family helps, and I'm trying to find the new me and find hobbies. Being alone with my thoughts is the worst for me, so I have to stay busy. I didn't think I could be here. I didn't think I could write this, but like so many others, the advice and vulnerable and painful moments you all share helped me be here. I want and need to continue therapy. It really helps. Thank you all. Any advice welcome. Edit, to be clear, we are going through with divorce and only contacting for splitting everything up. I know I can't go back and be happy. My last few paragraphs is the tug of war my head and heart are telling me. I left because of my head, my heart wants to go back. This was not an affair. This was a whole relationship. Dude, your wife has cheated on you with a coworker for your whole marriage and a lot of your relationship, dating/engagement/marriage. She made you become friends with her affair partner. She invited him to the wedding. She christens the new home that you paid for with him. She cheats on you and then gives you a deadline to get her pregnant. And refuses to quit her job so she still has access to her coworker. Dude, the absolute big balls of your soon-to-be ex-wife. Please continue therapy. She really mind f-ked you. Clean up your diet. No alcohol. Start going to the gym. Contact a lawyer. Tell your family and friends about the affair and lean on them for support. She only used up for security, you're always going to be plan B. I believe men need to start asking women for prenups, save them the heartache and time wasted when trash leaves on the spot. Only left on that list is the lawyer. Definitely doing the other things and was during reconciliation. My friends and family have been huge and it's only been 3 days. Love them to death. Find a badass lawyer. This is not about revenge. This is about someone who will defend you like a warrior because you are unable to protect yourself right now, from her. You will get through this. All the best to you. This will take you 2 years to heal. Give it time, don't fight it, and get well. No time like the present to get that last and most important part of the list done. You ducked up then, cause that should be number 1 on the list. Get one yesterday. She not only created a relationship, she manipulated things so she can have her AP nearby for easy access. If he is friends with her husband, it's easier for her to sneak sex in with the AP because he's regularly visiting for one reason or another. Did the same with AP's wife, intertwine the couples to make cheating easier and more efficient. That's all sorts of messed up that I don't see therapy fixing, especially since there are obvious signs of narcissism involved. It kinda sounds like Op was the other man. She left this marriage 3.5 years ago and now she is absolutely eating up the power you are giving her by playing the pick-me dance. It sucks hardcore, but you need out. She has no intention of putting forth any effort to an actual reconciliation. From everything you said, she is just saying get over it, and that's bullshit. Divorces are bad, but what you're doing now will only destroy you in the end. Good luck, mate, you deserve better. I hear you. I'm still amazed I haven't gone postal on them or AP's wife. She looked like the type. The only thing I can think of is I have more hurt than anger. And my anger is through the roof sometimes. Tell HR at their company. Wait till after the divorce. They'll both get fired. If you wait till after divorce, you won't get ducked with spousal support. Some HR could really give a shit, unfortunately. I think that used to be an old maxim about not dating in the workplace. Nowadays, I think most companies turn a blind eye to it. Very true. Some bosses and HR workers have also been cheated on in their lives and use incidents like these as a chance for personal retribution against cheaters. All on the luck of the draw. Worth a try though. Yeah man, I mostly agree. HR is the manager's friend. But most importantly, they are the company's friend, and some companies think infidelity within its divisions is a bad look for its customers. Not saying all, or even most. Mines wouldn't give a duck. But it also airs out that they're ducking at their company, any sketchy behavior, like raises, promotions etc. based on this relationship opens the company to being ducked rotten by employees who feel disadvantaged to them, if it was so the case. Basically make it look like it'll cost more money than firing them and retraining new people. If they used work phones, work cars, work property to meet/have sex, then they're ducking on company money. Only businesses that like paying their employees to duck are brothels. This story kinda triggered me because I went to something very similar 2 years ago. Beware playing with fire. Don't think you might not get burned just because you're divorced. I waited till the divorce and me and her affair partner's wife compiled all the shit of them having an affair while on duty. Both correctional officers. They launched an investigation and I'm sure it embarrassed my ex-wife act. A few days later she filed a completely false restraining order. We were no contact for months at that point. She falsified it so that way I could get firearms taken away and have a record. I fought against it in court for $1,200 for a lawyer and won it, and the order was dropped because I was able to prove it was falsified. But still, just keep that in the back of your head. Go tell AP's wife the truth, man. She knows. Otherwise there's no way I would get a call from AP's Phil without her knowing. How much does she know? No idea. Hopefully AP said it all, but wouldn't doubt if he left a lot out. His Phil running interference for him is disgusting. Personally, I would have told the Phil that his daughter needs an STD test. She doesn't know all of it, bro. You need to speak with her directly when your ex and Phil least expect it. She probably thinks it's an emotional affair. Parents don't always defend their kids, and it's possible that her dad is putting security over his daughter. Do it. I can assure you he did not come clean fully. After all you ex and he did, there's no way. He's just admitted the bare minimum, I'm sure. Give her all your evidence. Yes, there is. His Phil probably gave him a pat on the back and said boys will be boys. I would give AP's wife all of your evidence. Send her a certificate mail with all your evidence. I bet he only told her something about a drunken kiss or something like that. If she would have known about that before you found out, would you have wanted that she tells you? But does AP's wife know the extent of it? Man shrugging. So it was 3.5 years of them ducking like teenagers. She mistakes you for him in bed, and neither of them are willing to make any changes other than her wanting your baby, and probably only because she's 31 and, to be harsh, would prefer the AP's baby. I know it hurts, but you can't live by the sunk cost fallacy. You are 33 and at the prime of a man's life. You have no kids, so the break can be clean. Good luck. So everything you asked for in reconciliation, she has refused. That's the bottom line. You cannot even verify that she isn't still seeing him. She has certainly reserved the ability to do so. She wants to avoid consequences. And you have not created any. You know what you have to do. Do not start a family with these women. I repeat, do not start family with this woman. I made that mistake and I'm handsomely paying for it. After kids, you will be tied up with her permanently, for your whole life, even if you decide to divorce later. She will have all the cards and you will have none. Please go read the divorce laws and you will see how much disadvantage you will be. You have zero idea what you are getting into. I even thought she must love me if she wants my kids. I was so wrong. You must leave her. There is no other choice. She is absolutely positively trying to tie you up by having kids. This is exactly what my wife did. After I discovered her affair in 2005, immediately she wanted to have kids. She had created a deadline and only focused on that. After we eventually had kids, she made my life a living hell. Everything changed in her almost overnight. I was completely befuddled. I thought my forgiveness would make her behave better towards me. No, it was completely opposite. She literally alienated my own children from me. Before kids she always presented herself as humble person and let me make all decisions. After kids, she wouldn't even allow me to put my own kids to bed and let them take out to play. I can go on about my years of hell. It turned out that she had decided that I was controlling to not let her have affairs, and she secretly resented me the whole time. After kids, she realized she was a mom and everyone will always take her side no matter what. I was completely utterly ruined and have lived through 8 years of hell. Now she is on second known affair. She now doesn't want to reconcile and doesn't care. I told her family and even they don't care because she is mom and believe kids need their mom while dads are all discardable. They all just blame me for her actions. She talked to divorce lawyer before I even did and the lawyer told her that the game is all stacked up on her side. Now she is continuing the affair right in front of my eyes. Remember, she was the one crying, apologizing and promising that she will never do it again when I found out about her first affair, so I take her back and have kids with her. I'm not saying the exact same thing will happen with you, but I haven't seen any happy person who decided to forgive the affair and decided to start a family. It almost always ends in divorce and very likely a second affair after kids are born. This forum is full of those stories. Listen, when someone deceives you for 3.5 years, there is no coming back. None. Zero. You need to understand that you are not special, and she is not special. This is an extraordinarily long time to run deception and lies. No matter how you feel about her, you actually never knew her. When I met my wife, I thought I knew her like for 100 years. I thought we can survive anything because we understood completely each other. We were mangled minds but in separate bodies. I cannot tell you how wrong I was. I can see you going the same route as I took. Please don't do this to yourself. No one deserves the pain I've had for past decade of living with her with kids. No one. Follow this advice. A child won't fix this. It's the most basic method anyone could use to get lifetime commitment from you. I ducking hate your wife, sorry. Don't take me wrong, but ducking women are way worse than men. And ducking old women always say men are unfaithful and shit. They say that shit just to cover their shit up. I've seen many cases of women ducking men up. I do not ducking trust them one bit. Not one ducking bit. You mean to tell me this guy was also married and your low down dirty wife continued to marry you, buy a home with you, bring that filth into your home to have sex as well, and she is still wanting a family with you? You have got to know after looking at all this continuing that you're just the safe option, right? This is absolutely disgusting behavior from both of them. I feel more mad than you from just reading this, my guy. Holy shit, how could you take someone back that does something as heinous as this? Has to say something about your dependency on either the relationship itself or her, but you are worth more than any of this. I hope you know that. I tell myself that as well. There's some deep codependent issues with me that I didn't know I have. That I need to solve and never let that happen in my next relationship. You would think it would be easier to run for the hills. But it took me 7 months. I don't regret it because I needed time, but that also tells me how much work I need on myself. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.